Hey guys, it's Big J Mills. As wedding season approaches, you want to make sure that everything for your special day is perfect. Music is no exception. Well, that's where BTP Productions comes in. With over 25 years in the DJ business, BTP knows how to make a special day a memorable one. From lighting and sound packages to karaoke, BTP has you covered. And right now, to all of our crossover radio listeners, when you call 405-609-9980 and let us know that you heard this ad, we're going to knock $150 off your package price. So give us a call today at 405-609-9980 to book your event. Once again, that's 405-609-9980. Or check us out on Facebook at BTP Productions. The right music plus the right DJ equals BTP Productions.
Crossover Radio is the best station I have ever listened to, even over other Christian stations. They are such a blessing. God uses this radio station that God started through the DJs and everyone on there to bless us and to show us Him.
You know, sometimes in life, you just need your IQ level to shrink down to about the size of your shoe.
And that's where we come into play every Wednesday from 9 to 11 on the Dadcast.
Absolutely. You can catch us right here on Crossover Radio, the Crossover Radio app, the TuneIn Radio Network, and Facebook.com/The Crossover Radio.
And every so often on the 10 o'clock news.
Yeah, we won't talk about that. Stop stealing Ford trucks. That was you, right?
Yeah, that was me. I'm sorry.
Catch the Dadcast every Wednesday, Crossover Radio.
Hey, this is John Chris.
Hey, this is John Muskillet.
What's going on, y'all? It's Dylan Chase and DJ Squared.
Hey, it's Carrie Job, and you're listening to Crossover Radio.
What's going on? It's your boy KB. You are listening to Radio with a Purpose.
Welcome back on Monday Night Crossover Radio, Radio with a Purpose. And just in case you've turned it on for the first time and you've found us for the first time and you're going, what is going on? Well, let me tell you, you have tuned in to the overtime, what we like to call the OT, with DB and
Big Nate.
And you are live and in color. And if you're watching us on Facebook, we are live on Facebook. You can catch us on crossoverradio.org. You can also download the app through our sponsor, is Grounds for Compassion. And you can download that and put that on your iPad or your Android tablet or your iPhone or your smartphone of any kind, your Android, or whatever you kids do today. And you can listen to us live, and that is every Monday night at 8 p.m. And technically, we are till 9 o'clock. But Nate, what do we usually do?
Usually go over.
We go over. That's why we're called the overtime. And sometimes that overtime can mean a number of different things, which means I might just get a little bit nuts and crazy, especially when we start talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Guess what, Nate?
What?
We're getting closer.
I don't care so much about NFL season this year.
Oh, here you go. Well, you
don't.
better get ready and get...
Why?
Because we're going to talk about it. We may not talk about it tonight, but we're going to talk about it. I can see why you're not fired up.
Why?
Because your favorite team are the Cleveland Browns.
Well, that has nothing... I'm more excited about them than I have been in years past. But that has nothing to do with it.
So
I'm not up for the drama of the NFL this year.
What drama?
Everything. Everything's an issue. Just play the game.
Yeah, that's not going to happen, Nate.
Well, that's...
Adapt or die. Adapt or die.
Well, I adapt to what I have to, and I don't have to adapt to...
Nate, I'm sensing a little bit of attitude tonight. We hadn't even been on the show for less than like
just
a minute and a half.
Just when it comes to the NFL. I mean, you know, I expect that kind of drama queen stuff from the NBA, but the NFL, not so much. It's like... Come on.
Are you trying to say that the NFL has a bunch of divas playing or something? Or
got a lot of things in it. And I'm like it lost a lot of its luster, let's say, the last couple of years to me. So
I think in the last year it's really lost it.
Between all the
the national anthem thing going on.
Well, I mean, going all the way back to Ray Rice, the whole, we're not going to punish this guy really, even though there's video evidence of him just absolutely demolishing his, I don't know if it was fiance at the time or what she was.
Well, first of all, they didn't have the video. Well, the public didn't have the video until later.
I don't care about the public.
Well, but that's how they punished him, because they didn't feel like that anybody
because they felt like they could get away with it.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. And then
they
turn around and demolish
your boy Zeke Elliott
with like no evidence when nobody would testify against him.
Nothing. They had nothing. Even the person they hired to investigate him, who was their person, the NFL's investigator, said, "You ain't got anything."
Yeah.
And they what 6 games or whatever it was?
It's this commissioner, man.
He's nut job.
He's a power trip.
He is a nut job.
And I think I think a lot of the league is ruined because of how he's run it.
Do you know how much he's getting paid?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's like $4 million a year or something, isn't it? I mean, it's crazy.
He's got like his own private jet and everything. It's pretty pathetic. That's why I'm like, whatever.
I don't blame you. I mean, for years, I only watched the Dallas Cowboys for the most part. I'm not a huge NFL fan. I watch games the Cowboys play. But, last year, of course, they weren't as good. But I just had a hard time following them last year. I don't know if it's the games kind of lost interest for me. And I'll tune in a little bit this year. But, I've already said I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. Didn't we talk about that last week? The 5 reasons Dallas Cowboys don't make the playoffs, something like that. Yep. I'm sticking by that. My story and sticking to it.
I agree with you.
So who, while we're on the NFL, not to get too carried away, but who is the most dysfunctional team in the NFL?
Oh, man. I mean, that's hard to say right now. It depends on who you're talking about. I mean, whether it's front office, I'd say the Dallas is pretty close.
You think so?
I think between leadership and the coaching staff, I mean, you have teams like the quarterback is getting all suspended, and Carolina, that's kind of
I don't know. That's pretty dysfunctional out there in Carolina.
I mean, so there's numerous teams that are a little bit on the weird side right now.
The team that's kind of been at the top of that the last year or two is the Patriots. I mean, with
their stuff going on,
with Aaron Hernandez and that thing, and
the whole athletic trainer for
but
oddly enough, they just keep winning.
And Tom Brady and the Deflate Gate, and who's the tight end that's always partying? Gronkowski, and then
Edelman's now suspended,
and then they didn't show up for their voluntary, non-voluntary workouts.
It's like I said, it's a lot of drama.
It is, and I would agree the Cowboys are party up there. Hey, they've got a new diva in Cleveland, though. That could
Who?
Who?
Yeah, who?
Baker Mayfield.
Not a diva. He's not
sure
a diva.
Is.
No, he's cocky. He's cocky. He's not a diva.
I think he's a diva.
I don't think.
I think he and Brett Favre are cut from the same cloth.
Brett Favre was not a diva.
Oh yes, he was.
Oh come on.
Were you paying attention the last 5 years of his career?
Brett Favre was cocky. I don't think. No. I think diva and cocky are different.
No. We could next week. I will gather up all the evidence I have to prove that Brett Favre is not only a diva, but
I don't think you can look at it objectively.
NFL has this top 10 ranking thing they come out with there, especially during off season, and he's like number 2 or 3 on their top divas in NFL of all times.
I don't know.
And they've got the video and audio evidence to prove it.
As long as Terrell Owens is out there.
He was on there too.
I'm not. I think he's got Favre by leaps and bounds. When you're offered the Hall of Fame and you don't even want to participate in that, you're going to do your speech at your high school or something.
See, okay, so that's
no,
what
he's not even going to show up.
Oh, they'll change his mind. He'll go.
Well, we'll see.
He can't stand not having that kind of attention around him.
I don't know. Well, he's having a speech He's just not having it at the Hall of Fame.
And what is reasoning for that?
Because he's an idiot. He's crazy.
But does he have a reason for?
I don't remember
we
what
know,
his
we
beef.
know that he's crazy.
I don't remember. I think because he felt like he should have been in last year first ballot, and he didn't. And so he's throwing a fit and a temper tantrum because he didn't get in first ballot. Dude, you know how many players there'd be with just happy to get in? Just happy to get in.
Does he know do we know who his presenter is going to be?
No, I have no idea.
Probably be Roman.
When I started hearing all the drama, I was like, whatever. That's my quarterback.
That was funny. That was, there very few players have gone from one end of the spectrum. I mean, when he was in San Francisco, he was a hero because he caught that pass against Green Bay in the playoffs, and he had dropped like 4 passes earlier in the day, and he went up over 3 defenders and come down with it on top of his head. And he's down in the end zone crying, and they can't get him up. Then he goes up to Philly, and he has that meltdown with Donovan McNabb. He's doing the setups in the driveway in front of his house.
Yeah, like I said, he's crazy.
Then he goes to Dallas, and of course, earlier when he was with the 49ers, he did the whole standing on the star thing that got himself clobbered by George Teague. That was one of the classic Dallas Cowboy moments.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to have, Nate, whether you want to or not, we're going to have an NFL preview show. Where
I'll acknowledge it and cover it because we do sports, but that's about as far as... Don't expect me to watch much of it.
But what I am excited about, as far as the football end is this may come as a surprise to you because I've just kind of made this executive decision. Are you okay with that?
Yeah,
you don't even know what it is yet.
I don't know what executive decision you're making or what it's pertaining to, but okay.
You're the program director here, but I'm kind of programming right now.
Okay.
So I thought it would be kind of neat, and to every week for us to have like a 15-minute segment on previewing high school football in the state of Oklahoma.
That would be pretty cool.
And I thought maybe we'd start that out today.
Okay.
Are you okay with that?
Sure.
I mean, I knew you were going to do that anyway, but I kind of thought maybe every week we just have like a 15-minute segment.
Yeah.
And try to get some of the high school coaches involved if they're willing to do so. And if not, we'll just do it without them. We don't have to have them, but I think between the both of us, we probably know enough people to get a coach on or two here over the next few weeks. Speaking of which, we're going to take a break here in a few minutes, and when we come back, we're actually going to have the head football coach for the Bethany High School Broncos, Coach John Arthur, will be our special guest. A few weeks ago, some of you may remember, that we actually had the new head basketball coach at Bethany, Quinn Woolridge, on, and we're going to go with the coup de grace here in just a few minutes with Coach Arthur. Are you excited?
Yes, I am.
I am
super
too.
Excited.
So why don't we take a timeout? When we come back, grab your popcorn, grab you a soda pop, whatever. Tune in, Crossover Radio with a Purpose. We're going to have the head football coach at Bethany High School here. Well, he'll be on the phone, but he will be here live for my phone interview. I think he's actually attending a baseball game, but he's agreed to come on and answer a few questions from us. So go grab your popcorn, go grab your Coke or your iced tea or your water. Be healthy, Gatorade, whatever. And when we come back on Crossover Radio, we'll have our special guest, Coach John Arthur. Be back in a few minutes.
Hey guys, it's Jay Mills.
And Coach Coleman.
Hey, don't forget to check me out every Tuesday night, 7 to 9 p.m. right here on the Crossover for Freestyle.
And then I'm also live every single weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the Brunch Rush. Crossover Radio.
Radio with a purpose.
Razorback Lawn and Tree Care has you covered for all of your outdoor needs. We offer affordable landscaping, tree trimming and removal, as well as regular lawn care. Call us today at 405-202-5140 and let us help you go hog wild over your yard. Man, I tell you what, I was hanging out with Robbie Allen today, and he ran out of Grounds for Compassion coffee. Robbie, what was it like to run out of Grounds for Compassion?
That was the most humiliating experience of my life.
And Robbie, with Grounds for Compassion, we feel it's probably the best coffee in the world, wouldn't you say?
Very impressive.
You mean in the world, right?
Yes, sir.
And when other people tell you that Grounds for Compassion isn't as good as their coffee, what do you tell them?
Beg pardon?
So it sounds to me like you're going to need a little bit more Grounds for Compassion since you ran out there, Robbie.
Don't we all?
So if you want to order any Grounds for Compassion coffee, check them out at g4c.coffee. That's g4c.coffee. Hey, Robbie, shouldn't you be writing this down?
Photographic memory.
Well, that's good to know, Robbie. Hey, I tell you what, check out Grounds for Compassion. Again, that website, g4c.coffee. Grounds for Compassion. Coffee with conviction.
New Covenant Fellowship is a fresh expression of the Church of Jesus Christ right here in Bethany. We are the proud home of Crossover Radio, located at 6736 Northwest 39th Expressway. We meet on Sunday mornings at 10:45 a.m. for community worship celebration, and on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock p.m. for fellowship and Bible studies for all ages. We are a church where you can belong even while you're still becoming who you were created to be in Jesus Christ. You can find out more about our church by visiting newcovenantokc.org or find us on Facebook. And if you can't join us in person, you can join us right here every Sunday morning at 10:45 a.m. on Crossover Radio.
Are you a local business or ministry? Are you looking to advertise on a station that's passionate about your community and safe for the whole family? Crossover Radio is currently seeking like-minded partners to help support their cause while we support yours. From commercial packages, show branding, and live remotes, we have what your business needs to get to the next level. Our mission is to bring impacting content through a Christian worldview, and we need your support. All donations made to Crossover Radio are 100% tax deductible, so why wait? Call us today at 405-494-0234. Again, that number is 405-494-0234. Crossover Radio. Radio with a purpose.
Hi, this is Kelly, and I'm the Creative Director at West Metro Community Church. At West Metro, we hold strong to our core values of Jesus, mercy, family, and authenticity. I would like to personally invite you to join us at West Metro this Sunday morning at 10:45 for worship. You can get more information about us on our website at westmetro.org or find us on Facebook. We are located at 601 West Main Street in Yukon. Come join us and I'll save you a seat.
Welcome back, Crossover Radio, Radio with a Purpose. You're listening to the OT with DB and
Big Nate.
And you are live and in color, and you're listening to us at Crossover Radio Central right here in downtown Oklahoma. Downtown Bethany, Oklahoma. I'll get it right here in a minute. And it gives me a great honor and pleasure to introduce to you our special guest tonight. He is the head football coach at Bethany High School right here in Bethany. Please welcome to the show Coach John Arthur. Welcome, Coach.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having us here.
Well, hey, you're welcome, man, and I appreciate you taking the time out. I know you got a lot of things going on right now, being the summertime and all, and it sounds like you got some activity going on around you.
Yeah, I'm out at my son's got a little baseball tournament here tonight, so watching some coach pitch baseball is a lot of fun.
Oh, that's cool. How old is he?
He's 6.
Oh, wow.
6 years old.
You know, I remember when I was that age and I was playing Little League, and we didn't have coach pitch back then. We actually got to pitch. And the only thing I looked forward to was my dad told me if I didn't strike out, I'd get a snow cone at the end of the night.
Yes. I was going to say, I think the thing they look forward to the most are those drink tickets.
Yeah.
They're going to get here in a little bit.
That's exciting. Well, Coach, this being, I guess, your second year at Bethany, tell us what excites you most about being the head coach at your alma mater.
You know, just excited. I've obviously been around Bethany for a lot of my life. Ever since first grade, I left and went to college, and was fortunate enough to come back about 10 years ago and been an assistant football coach there for 9 years until this last year. And just, anytime you can come back to somewhere that you've kind of been your whole life is just exciting. A place that's, meant a lot to you, and a lot of people there are around that have still been there since I was in school. And so it's just special to be a part of that. Not to mention Bethany's just a a special place in general.
Well, it is a really cool community. Did you feel like that there was more pressure coming back to coach at your alma mater than would have been if you'd been somewhere else?
It's definitely different than if you were another place. I've never been anywhere else, so I really don't know the alternative side other than being at my alma mater. So that may help it not be as pressure filled for me. But certainly for me, I really just like to focus on what a great opportunity is. I've just been really blessed to be in this spot.
Well, looking at your track record, you're 10-3 last year in your first year, and I know that has to be extremely rewarding to yourself.
It was just a great year. I think more than anything, credit to our kids. We had a group of kids, young guys all the way to our seniors we had last year that just really came together and put on. Really showed what can happen when a team kind of comes together, and so that was special to just kind of be a part of. And then, I've had guys that I've played for and coached with at Bethany all the way back with Mike Little that I played for at Bethany back in '99 all the way through. Coach Renshaw who won a state title in 2003. Coached with Chad Broughton, who went to the semis a couple of times, coached for Reagan Roof for the last 9 years.
Right.
Who's the head coach at Weatherford now. And so, those guys have done a great job of just kind of building the program on a strong foundation there.
Now, did Reagan take over for his dad? Didn't his dad retire last year or this year?
It was actually his cousin, but yeah, in the family, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you played on that 2003 championship team?
No, I graduated in the spring of '03, so my last season was '02. So I played for Coach Renshaw for 3 years, and then they won it, of course, in 2003, that next fall.
Yeah, well, that's still pretty cool when your alma mater wins a state title, and I know it's a thing that even though you'd already graduated, you certainly felt to be a part of that, and that was I'm sure that was a rewarding experience for you.
Yeah, it's like we still tell our guys that play for us today. Once you kind of come through the program, you're a part of the foundation that's been built in a lot of different ways, and that's just it's just kind of fun to be a part of and know that in just a little way you were a part of what still goes on, and we try to make those alumni feel that even in what we do now.
Speaking on that, a lot of your assistant coaches are former players or former guys that you were with as well, right?
Yeah, I want to say, I'm trying to go off the top of my head here. I think we've got 7 guys on staff that are Bethany alumni. One guy that graduated with me, about 3 that graduated pretty close around, and then some other guys. And so it's just I think that goes to show kind of what a special place just Bethany in general is.
Yeah.
When you've got that many number of guys, and not just football coaches. We've got teachers throughout our building and throughout our district that have come back to Bethany. They want to give back to a place that's been meaningful to them.
I've had the opportunity over the last 5 or 6 years to be a part of the Bethany Foundation fundraiser they have in May, and that just really, I'm overwhelmed by the community support that Bethany has for its hometown team. And I take it that Bethany is still one of those towns and schools that basically shuts down and supports the program wherever they go, whenever they play.
Yeah, the atmosphere on our Friday nights is just it's fantastic. The people in our community from all levels. Even people that have kids in the elementary, they're coming out, people from town, and so it's just a great atmosphere and a great community to be a part of in every way.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to grow up in a small town about the size of Bethany, and Friday nights was special. I mean, it just you couldn't wait till it got there as a little kid growing up, and you're your football players were your heroes, so to speak. You just couldn't wait till that Friday night kickoff and the smell of popcorn in the air and the band's playing, and that to me is still the purest form of football. I mean, you can't get much more pure than that. It just seems like
I think it's just a great the kids, like you said, it's football almost as it was meant to be. Obviously, great football's played at other levels, and those guys do great things at other levels. But it's certainly there's something special about your high school years that you really never will experience anything kind of like that again.
Yeah, it is. It's something you carry with you the rest of your life for sure. What do you say the most rewarding part of being a coach is for you so far?
I think for me as a coach, and I think most anyone in our profession as teachers and coaches would say, just being able to have relationships with kids and impact them in a positive way is the best part about the job. We've got so many guys that I've been fortunate enough to coach throughout the years, and just seeing them today as they come back and talk. Or we've got 2 guys on our staff that have played for us that are just that have both kind of gone through college recently, and they're coming back and coaching with us. And so it makes you feel a little old, but it's certainly just great to see that those guys, even as young as they are, want to come back and give back to our program. That's really kind of why we're all in this, just to make a positive impact on kids and form great relationships with them. Help build them into men of great character.
Well, one of your counterparts, who's one of our good friends here at Crossover Radio, is your new head basketball coach, Quinn Woolridge. And I've always called Quinn, and I've heard this is not something that I came up with on my own. I actually think I heard it on Friday Night Lights, molder of men. And certainly anybody who's a coach or molder of women or whatever, I know that your wife's in coaching as well, that it comes a lot of responsibility for you to be able to get that kind of, to have that kind of a statue for yourself for young people. And talk about how you go about that, what more your philosophy is, because I know a reason I'm kind of leaning into is winning is so important today, or at least it seems with parents. And I know you get a lot of pressure from parents. Have my kid play. My kid's playing. My kid playing. Talk about how you deal with that, and what obstacles you've dealt with, and making sure that every kid gets a part of that success.
Sure. I think it kind of comes back, at least on our team, we've got one of the things we really focus very heavily on is building, our culture, the culture that we want our guys to kind of live and breathe. Essentially, we want them to be an example of that everywhere they go. And I think what's been a big benefit for us, one of the things we talk about, one of our core values that we talk about is every guy that's there, no matter what age they are, no matter what position they play, no matter how much they're on the field, kind of like what you were saying, everybody's got a role that they're performing in. And that's kind of something we really want to get across to our guys. Doesn't matter what it is, everybody's got a role, and everybody's valuable in their own way. And I think, if you can, from our perspective as coaches, if we can get our players to kind of buy into that culture, it's not only going to affect them positively in the future, but they're going to impact and affect other people in their lives, like their parents, and know that, what we're doing is about so much more than football and about getting to play and those things. They're learning lessons. It's going to take them, far beyond football. And that's just one of the kind of the core values that we really kind of talk about and stress in our program.
I know one thing I appreciated, Coach, is I had 2 sons that graduated from Bethany, and one of them actually played on the football team, and he was also in the band. And one thing that I really appreciated is that you guys would let the band members who played on the football team at halftime would take off and run and join the band. I mean, and halftime is a crucial time. I mean, that's a lot of adjustments get made and stuff. Sure. And the fact that you guys let them go out and chase what else they wanted to do while playing football. To me, that told me right there what you guys, you held a lot of other things in regard, and I really always appreciated that.
There's so many, as kids are in high school, there's so much encouragement on kids today from a lot of angles to kind of specialize in something or really do one thing. And I think that's one thing that makes Bethany very unique, is like you said, we've got kids who are involved in so many different things and in a variety of things, and not just athletically. And that's only going to, benefit those kids down the road. And I think that's, again, something that makes Bethany special, that our kids are not only allowed to do that, but encouraged to go be a part of these other things. Because again, it's a time in your life that you're not going to get to relive. And so it's certainly a time for them to do those things.
Well, if you just joined us, we're talking to the head football coach at Bethany High School, Coach John Arthur. John, we're going to take a quick commercial timeout. We're gonna turn you down just for a minute and pay some bills, and we're gonna come back and finish up the interview with you. So if you are joining us live, Crossover Radio with a Purpose, you're on the show with the OT with DB and
Big Nate,
and we'll be right back.
Hey guys, it's Big J Mills. As wedding season approaches, you want to make sure that everything for your special day is perfect. Music is no exception. Well, that's where BTP Productions comes in. With over 25 years in the DJ business, BTP knows how to make a special day a memorable one. From lighting and sound packages to karaoke, BTP has you covered. And right now, to all of our Crossover Radio listeners, when you call 405-609-9980 and let us know that you heard this ad, we're going to knock $150 off your package price. So give us a call today at 405-609-9980 to book your event. Once again, that's 405-609-9980. Or check us out on Facebook at BTP Productions. The right music plus the right DJ equals BTP Productions.
Crossover Radio is the best station I have ever listened to, even over other Christian stations. They are such a blessing. God uses this radio station that God started through the DJs and everyone on there to bless us and to show us Him.
Sometimes in life, you just need your IQ level to shrink down to about the size of your shoe.
And that's where we come into play every Wednesday from 9 to 11 on the Dadcast.
Absolutely. You can catch us right here on Crossover Radio, the Crossover Radio app, the TuneIn Radio Network, and Facebook.com/The Crossover Radio.
And every so often on the 10 o'clock news.
Yeah, we won't talk about that. Stop stealing Ford trucks. That was you, right?
Yeah, that was me. I'm sorry.
Catch the Dadcast every Wednesday, Crossover Radio.
Welcome back, Crossover Radio with a Purpose. If you're just tuned in, you're on the OT with DB and
Big Nate.
And you are listening to the live interview of head football coach at Bethany High School, Coach John Arthur. And John, one of the questions I wanted to ask you is, and kind of turning this to, I don't want to call it the negative side, but just the side that sometimes you have to address, is what you think is the most difficult part of being a coach nowadays.
I think just the coaching in general has become, there's so much more involved in coaching nowadays, with the advent of, just things like social media and the ease of communicating with others. And just, there's a lot of different, even just the social media aspect, there's a lot of different ways to use that or to not use it, or to kind of work with others on. And so, I think so many information is at people's hands, and the kids are always on this stuff. And so being able to, kind of control that. But again, you've got to connect with that in some way in today's world, and manage all the different people that are going to have access to your program and those things.
Do you get a lot of suggestions on social media on how to coach a football team?
I don't know if we're pretty lucky at Bethany. We must be, because we don't get a whole lot. Obviously, we're again really fortunate the support of just our community in general, our parents, is always so great and so positive. Again, we may be kind of different than some places there. I don't know, because I've never been in this position anywhere else.
Right.
But, most of what we deal with is very positive stuff and those kind of things, which makes it, again, a great situation.
It does indeed make your job a lot easier. How far as teachers go, I mean, do you feel like you have the support of the teachers at Bethany?
I think, again, I hate to keep going back to this, but, this is maybe something that's a little different at Bethany. We've got teachers who are very committed and interested. I think one of the things that makes that happen is we've got a lot of teachers that, were here when I was in school, or when all these coaches that are Bethany graduates were in school. And so we had, we know a lot of these teachers that are in the building. We've got 2 coaches on our coaching staff that have been teachers of the year in our district in the last few years. So we've got, great representation among our teachers, and that's again part of what makes Bethany a special and great place.
Well, earlier I'd said I know your wife as well as a coach, and why don't you tell us a little bit about what she does?
Yeah, my wife is a school psychologist, works in our administration building, but then she's coaches girls basketball for us and has done that for a number of years, and just enjoys being a part with our girls coach Eric Saylor, and they doing a great job in that program, and she just loves being a part of it for the same reasons all of us in coaching do.
Well, it's good that you have that kind of passion with your wife, and it runs in the family. And my guess is that your boys will probably grow up to be coaches like Dad and Mom. But then you have 2 kids, that's right?
Yes, 2, the 6-year-old and the 2-year-old. And so I followed in the footsteps of my dad.
Right.
In that profession, and so we'll see.
Another interesting fact is I do a lot of name dropping from time to time because I can, but one of our founders of our mentoring program, Team Black Mentorship, Kevin Foster, actually played under your dad. So that's kind of how the connection came with me meeting your dad, and of course with Quinn when he was at Southwest Christian. But by the way, tell your dad hi next time you get a chance. He's an amazing guy, amazing man, and
will do.
Certainly appreciate his friendship. So I want to talk about your season coming up here in just a moment. One last question as far as coaching is, how do you? Well, there's 2 parts to that question. One is what are your career goals as a coach, and the second thing, how do you measure whether or not you are effective and that you're successful?
Yeah, I mean, two things that I think a lot of people think about when you speak with coaches, and I think first of all, Bethany, we've talked about it, is a place I've been my whole life, and it's just one of those places that you don't get what you get at Bethany a lot of other places, and there are certainly other great places out there, but this is really, I don't like to throw around the term dream job, but it's really, it really is the one for me, just because it's where I've grown up. The people that are here have mentored and impacted me in such a great way, and so it's just the place that kind of tugs on your heart, And then, the second thing, being successful, it kind of goes back to what I said earlier. I think a lot of us as coaches in the profession would just say it's looking at where where these guys are at in 10, 15 years, guys that are getting married and having kids now that played for us, and the kind of people, they become. That's the important thing. That's the successful thing. And we talk with our players all the time. One of the big things we talk about is just focus on the process of what you get to do every day. Be the best you can be at what you do every day. And if you do that, you're going to go through life and you're going to be successful. You're going to be great husbands and fathers and those kind of things. And that's what we're after, just go out and try to be kind of the culture that we try to teach in our program, and it'll serve you well in life.
Yeah, that's great, Coach. So 10-3 last year, semifinal appearance. Tell us about what class you're in and what district you are in, and what kind of hopes you have for this upcoming season.
Yeah, this last year was our second year as we moved up into Class 4A, and so as the school's kind of grown some. Back when I was in school, we were a 2A school and had about 300 students in the high school, and now we've got about 525 or so, and so we've moved from 2A to 3A to 4A, and it certainly brings about some different people that we have never traditionally played a whole lot of, but it's definitely there's really some great football tradition in Class 4A. You've got schools like out west. You've got, of course, the traditions of Clinton and Weatherford.
Yeah.
Anadarko's a team that's coming up to 4A this year. They've won some state titles in the recent history in Class 3A, and they're moving up this year. You've got on the east side, you had Wagner, who I think up into this year had won 3 straight state titles in Class 4A.
Wow.
Ulaga had been in the title game 3 of the last 4 years, and so just some traditional kind of powerhouses there. Of course, the last couple of years, and this last year, the state champion was Heritage Hall, and they've moved out of our class down into 3A again.
Okay.
So they've kind of moved out, and I haven't really talked about our district, but we're back in with who we were pretty close to last year with the Blanchard and Tuttle, who are both kind of powerhouse football programs of their own. They're both good year in and year out. We brought in Cushing comes into our district this year. They moved up from Class 3A. They've been a finalist in Class 3A a couple times. Ada did move out of our district, or did move out of Class 4A. They moved up to 5A, and so they won't be in our class anymore. But a lot of kind of traditional powerhouse programs there. I think I always find interesting about Class 4A. We've got us, and then of course Weatherford Coach Roof, who coached here at Bethany, and I played for and coached with. And, Elgin is now coached by Coach Renshaw, who coached Bethany to the title game in 2003, and so some Bethany connections here on the west side of the state. It makes 4A kind of interesting.
I did not know that Elgin was 4A, so wow.
Yes.
All right. Well,
so it's
go ahead.
I was just going to say it's interesting having those guys that and of course we matched up with Weatherford and Coach Roof in the first round of the playoffs last year. Was kind of a bittersweet week there, but it's just interesting being with those guys all in our class here on the west side of the state.
It's also a lot better when you win those games too.
It is, and it's one of those things that when you're playing a guy who's done so much for you and kind of become a great friend to you, it's hard. And especially in that scenario, we had played Weatherford the year before when he was at Bethany in the playoffs, and they beat us, and so there was a lot that went into that game and just made it a very unique week.
I noticed here on Bethany's webpage that you guys have a Bethany Broncos athletic app now that people can download. Is that true?
Yeah, we do. We just kind of got that rolled out this year. We've got a new website, BethanyBroncos.com, and of course we're Broncos with an H in there.
That's right.
And but there's an app that goes along with that, and scores, stories about games. Going to try to focus on a lot of our teams and what they accomplish here throughout the year, and so just something again, kind of as time progresses, social media and internet and those kind of things become so big. We want to be able to do what we can to kind of publicize our program for people, whether it's people out of town or just so that the kids have somewhere to go and get information, or fans have somewhere to go. It's just going to be good for everybody involved.
Do you, and kind of on the lighter side, do you get a lot of questions about the H in the Broncos?
Not a whole lot around Bethany, just because everybody knows it. But anytime you go to a coach's clinic or something like that, it's certainly a question. We've got a pretty good relationship with the coaching staff up at UCO. They've got the H as well, and so we we've got a couple guys. Our running back from this last year actually signed to ECO, Peyton
Great.
Harrell, and we've got a couple other linemen. Seth Carmack and Noble Librand are both graduates playing up there, and so I always talk with their coaches how at least both of us still have the H in our Broncos, and makes for fun conversations there.
Well, it kind of makes you a little bit unique, and the reason I ask that is because I was athletic trainer for Central State Broncos in the 1982 National Championship team. So I've dealt with the H in there for a long time. So it's kind of comical sometimes when you talk to people. But well, Coach, we certainly appreciate you coming on the show. Anything you want to add before we sign off here?
No, just appreciate you guys doing this, and again, Bethany's just a fantastic community that supports, not only our football program, but all of our athletic programs. All of our coaches in all of those sports do a great job. And you definitely want to thank our administration. Those people,
they're incredible.
That are kind of there in Bethany. They again make Bethany what it is. They support our coaches, and like we talked about earlier, it's not just athletics that's supported at Bethany. Bethany's a place that we've got fantastic fine arts, academics, everything involved in our program, in our school, is top notch, and that's because it kind of starts at that administrative level and trickles down, and just everyone involved. I'm very appreciative of them.
Has the auditorium been completed, the new one?
It is done, yeah.
Awesome.
It was it's been a great addition for us, and it's done. Named it after Dr. Schellenberger, our former superintendent, who rolled the ball on that, and
right.
Of course, he was so instrumental in making Bethany what it is. And
indeed.
Back since the mid '90s, and it's been a great. Obviously, Bethany's a great place, and again, people like Dr. Schellenberger have kind of helped steer Bethany in that direction.
Well, I told you I was part of the banquet every year in May, and I'm just overwhelmed with support. And I've seen a lot of support from just outside of the Oklahoma community. Kevin Ogle was an MC, or actually spoke one year. James Langford. I mean, just amazing how much support you get, just not in the community itself, but Oklahoma in general, and has a great passion for what Bethany does in the education process. And Coach, we want to wish you a blessed year, and certainly looking forward to coming out and making a few games, and we'll certainly be watching Quinn as well and his successes there, and we'll look forward to it, Coach, and hopefully we'll be talking to you more soon down the line.
Yeah, awesome. Would love it. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
All right, Coach.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thanks, you too.
All right, Crossover Radio, radio with a purpose. You're on the air we're on the air with the OT, with DB and
Big Nate.
We're going to take a commercial timeout. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes, and Nate's going to close us out with a devotion. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is John Chris.
Hey, this is John Muskillet.
What's going on, y'all? It's Dylan Chase and DJ Squared.
Hey, it's Carrie Job, and you're listening to Crossover Radio.
What's going on? It's your boy KB. You are listening to Radio with a Purpose.
New Covenant Fellowship is a fresh expression of the Church of Jesus Christ right here in Bethany. We are the proud home of Crossover Radio, located at 6736 Northwest 39th Expressway. We meet on Sunday mornings at 10:45 a.m. for community worship celebration, and on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock p.m. for fellowship and Bible studies for all ages. We are a church where you can belong even while you're still becoming who you were created to be in Jesus Christ. You can find out more about our church by visiting newcovenantokc.org or find us on Facebook. And if you can't join us in person, you can join us right here every Sunday morning at 10:45 a.m. on Crossover Radio.
Are you a local business or ministry? Are you looking to advertise on a station that's passionate about your community and safe for the whole family? Crossover Radio is currently seeking like-minded partners to help support their cause while we support yours. From commercial packages, show branding, and live remotes, we have what your business needs to get to the next level. Our mission is to bring impacting content through a Christian worldview, and we need your support. All donations made to Crossover Radio are 100% tax deductible, so why wait? Call us today at 405-494-0234. Again, that number is 405-494-0234. Crossover Radio. Radio with a purpose.
Hi, this is Kelly, and I'm the Creative Director at West Metro Community Church. At West Metro, we hold strong to our core values of Jesus, mercy, family, and authenticity. I would like to personally invite you to join us at West Metro this Sunday morning at 10:45 for worship. You can get more information about us on our website at westmetro.org or find us on Facebook. We are located at 601 West Main Street in Yukon. Come join us and I'll save you a seat.
Welcome back, Crossover Radio, Radio with a Purpose. You are listening to the OT with DB and
Big Nate.
And I forgot to mention, Nate, the thing I always mention every Monday.
Well, get it on out there now.
Okay, well, we're the number one rated show on Crossover Radio on Monday night. How about that?
On Monday nights, that's right.
On Monday nights, yep. Of course, there's a reason for that, because we're the only show on Monday night, so...
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's good enough reason.
I'm going to take it.
That's
Take
right.
it when I can get it, right?
That's right.
So, a couple of things real quick. So, if you've listened to our program, you realize that we have a mentoring program, or I do, and Nate's part of that. He's one of our mentors, and he's also competed a few times on some of the lifting events that we have participated in. So, our team is getting ready to compete here in a few weeks at the Oklahoma City Classic, which was formerly the Iron Sharpens Iron Powerlifting Championships, and I'm happy to announce that we will resurrect that championship next year, but we took a year and relented to the Oklahoma City Classic, which will be August 4th at One Healthy Bod Gym in Edmond. And I believe at this point we've got 4, which is usually the number we carry with us when we go to events. But summer is generally a difficult time to train with the heat and people on vacation and everything else. So we'll have 4 competitors competing in that, and we're looking forward to it, Nate.
Yes.
And we've got, of course, Kevin took a year off. This will be his first meet in a year. Do you realize it's been that long since he competed?
No, I didn't realize it'd been that long.
Yeah, it's been that long.
He's looking strong, too.
He's looking pretty strong. He's almost all the way back from taking that little hiatus. And then Marco, Marco,
yeah.
he'll be in his second meet. And we got Ryan Ballard, our 132/148 pound powerhouse national world record holder out of Hinton, Oklahoma. He'll be competing with us in August. And our newcomer, Miss Carrie Johnson. And she's looking mighty strong as well.
Yes, she is. And she's bubbly.
Yes.
That woman brings intensity and happiness
and
everywhere she goes.
Bubbliness everywhere she goes. So she's exciting, and I'm looking forward to really seeing what she can do. So generally every show that we do, we try to conclude our show with a devotion. So I'm going to turn it over to my counterpart, Big Nate.
Okay, I get this devotional. It's mainly aimed towards men, but I think it applies here. It's called, "Which Type of Man Are You?" And the verse is Psalm 91, verse 2. It says, "My God in whom I trust." One type of Christian man trusts what Jesus teaches is true, but only on an intellectual level. This man appreciates a good sermon, but then goes away and lives out the moments of his life in ways that make it indistinguishable from the lives of those who do not trust Jesus at all. This type of man doesn't trust Jesus with his life, and so lives like a shrub in the desert. There is another type of man, though, one who chooses to trust the truth of Jesus deeply, authentically, and practically. This type of man lives the moments of his life in ways that are markedly different than they'd be otherwise, because of his trust. Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord, whose trust is in the Lord. He is like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. When we trust Jesus, when we actually live like we trust Him, when we come to life, when we live like we trust Him, we become spiritually strong and healthy and fruitful, like trees planted by the water, and we begin to move into the full lives that God dreamed about for us so long ago.
Amen. Good stuff, Nate. So I look forward to to our rendition of this high school football preview special that we're going to try to do every Monday night for at least one segment. And probably what we'll do is we'll probably take like a class in a district leading up to when they kick off. And we obviously won't be able to get all of them in, but we'll try to stay with the local schools and Oklahoma City schools. And, maybe obviously Bethany. We'll talk more about that. And, Putnam City West, Putnam City North, and maybe some of our favorite high school teams around here. Of course, Nate, you're from Ohio, so you may not even know where any of the schools are. So.
Well, I've been here for quite a while, so I know where most of them are at. But hey, I just want to remind everybody, if you want to check out our interview with Coach Arthur tonight, you can go to the Crossover Radio Facebook page, and you can rewatch that on Facebook Live. I will also download it and place it on our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and look for the OT with DB and Big Nate show. I will put it on there. Please like and share that. Spread it around. I will also share it on the actual OT with DB and Facebook page. So there are lots of ways that you can find it. If you're in the Bethany area and you want... if you're excited about this upcoming season, and he's also the athletic director now, and so he'll be wearing a couple different hats.
Daggone it, I didn't get a chance to ask him about that.
Well, hopefully we get a chance to talk to him again.
Yep.
So, he'll be wearing lots of different hats this year, and he's a good guy. I've known him for quite a while. My kids had him in class, and like I said, my son played for him, and so I'm looking forward to this year.
Yeah, me too. And along with our good buddy Quinn Woolridge, our basketball coach over there, a basketball coach at Bethany in his first year with his...
Was that a video of his son?
Yes.
Duncan? I saw that.
Yes. So he's got his oldest, Michael, will be a freshman this year at Bethany.
He's what, 6'8"?
Yeah, every bit of that.
Yeah.
Maybe
if not more.
Maybe even more. By the time the season starts, he may be 7 foot. I'll bet you Quinn's got him listed at 7 foot in the program.
Oh, why not? 7 foot 250.
Yeah. Well, he's got a ways to go for 250, but anyway, I'm looking forward to the Bethany High School sports year. Should be exciting. So, Nate, I know this is hard for some people to accept, but we're not the only show on Crossover Radio. Yep.
The only one on Monday nights.
We are the only one on Monday nights. Although there's a drive time show that I didn't know anything. Well, I kind of knew about, but I started thinking, are they considered night show? Because if they are, then there might be some competition going on here.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I keep seeing the advertisement for the drive or something for the drive time show. Which is that? I don't know. You're the program director.
Well, there's two programs in the afternoon. There's one Robbie's on from 2 to 4.
Okay.
And then it's not every day. And then after him is DK has a show from 4 to 6.
Maybe that's the one I'm thinking.
So DK's the one that he wasn't on tonight. He was not feeling well.
Oh.
So hopefully
he gets to feeling better.
I think he and his wife spent some time away over the weekend. I think it wore him out.
He overdid it.
Getting old, that happens to us. So
overdid it. So anyway, a couple other shows. One's on Sunday night. It's called Ryan and Phillips Conversation Rules. What started as a rule at the breakfast table has turned into one of Crossover's longest-running shows. Ryan and Phillips Conversation Rule engages in meaningful and civil conversations about the issues of the day. More than that, they ask the most critical questions. Why does that matter? Well, Ryan and Phillips Conversation Rules airs every Sunday, 8 p.m., only on Crossover Radio, and that's hashtag radio with a purpose.
Hashtag.
Yep. And then, of course, the story, and that's our good buddy Nick Tarter, pastor here, and you can turn into his show from 10 to 11 on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Did I get that right? Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday? Did I miss a day?
Nope.
And he looks at the Bible, current news, stories, cultural trends, theology, and philosophy to show people that all of our stories ultimately point to Jesus.
He's a deep thinker.
He is one of those deep guys.
And if you want a list of all of our shows and the times and the days that they play, go to crossoverradio.org. Click on the button that says show schedule, and then there will be another one on the right-hand side that says full show schedule. You can find out what show is on the air right now, what show is up next, and then you can look up and find whatever your favorite show, like the OT with DB and Big Nate.
It's my favorite show.
And you can find that when that plays on Monday nights at 8, and it'll give you a list of all the shows we have here at Crossover.
You're my favorite co-host.
Oh, thanks.
And my favorite engineer.
Oh, thanks.
No, you're welcome.
I'm the only one you got.
Yeah, I know. Am I your favorite something?
Yeah, you're my favorite coach.
All right, folks, we appreciate you joining us tonight. Again, don't forget to check out our interview with head football coach at Bethany High School, John Arthur. It'll be posted on our YouTube page along with our Facebook Live on Crossover Radio Facebook and also the OT with DB and Big Nate. We enjoyed having you tonight. Just remember out there that God so loved the world, He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believe in Him should not perish, but have everlasting life. That's John 3:16. Want everybody to have a good week, a good night. We love you, and thanks for tuning in. You've listened to DB and
Big Nate
on the OT. Have a good night.